Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. Now, it's another very big and a very good day that I'm hosting two of the great gentlemen. One of them is Professor Gola. We all know what happened yesterday on Monday and yesterday. That one I'll give him time to at least tell us the experience that he had in between those 2 days. But before that, I just want to give them time to introduce themselves. I've got one by the name of Dixon, that is a leader and founder of Youth for You Forum. I'll give him time to introduce himself, and then I'll also give Professor Ogola to tell us more about what happened yesterday before we jump into our discussion. Dixon, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Dixon Alwach. I'm the founder of Youth for Youth Initiative. Yeah, I'm privileged to be here. Thank you for the platform.
Okay, Kalib. Professor?
I am Professor Fred Ogola, and I am one of the co-conveners of Concerned Citizens Movement. Remember, the other convener is called Joe Mugachia.
Ask Professor this question. Professor, on Sunday, when William Ruto was meeting with the university students, some of the leaders, there is a statement that he made that I would like you to tell me whether he meant it or not. I remember William Ruto said that our president said that if you want to kill a nation, then deny people or deny the country education.
Yes.
But what is going on right now is that we find that there is everywhere, there's a lot of problem in the education sector. And we know very well that a new CS is in the office who does not, I don't know whether he understands the way things are running or not. But I want to ask you this question. Was the president aware of what he was saying, or he was just saying it for the sake of tumefanya, tumetenda, tumetenga? Specifically you as an economist.
Boniface, let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I am sure I read the Bible. As a Christian, I was taught that our main aim is not to know the Bible, but how the Bible can lead us to heaven.
Yeah.
Because the Bible is like a signpost that shows you the direction to heaven, isn't it? But you know, some people, when they see the signpost to heaven, they tend to take the wrong direction. So they say when a wise man points at the moon, isn't it? The foolish man looks at the hand. When a wise man points at the moon,
the foolish man looks at the hand.
Can you see the moon?
You'll see the hand automatically.
So William Ruto is that guy. Whenever William Ruto says, if you listen to what he's saying, you are missing the point. So William Ruto is a president who is concerned about his economic well-being and political survival, period. William Ruto is someone obsessed with power and money. So if he wants money for himself, do you think he's going to put money in education?
He won't.
No. So that's exactly what he has denied. He has been advised that the best way to manage Kenyans is to deny. So he's telling you the opposite when he says that if you want to finish a nation, deny them education, isn't it? What does he want to do? Exactly that, to finish the nation. He's shooting the young people and killing them. Does he want to make the nation or finish it? Finish it. He's overtaxing you to poverty. Is he making you or breaking you? So William Ruto, he says that if you want to finish a nation, deny them education. So that's what he's doing. And that is his strategy and policy. And I've given you evidence. All the funding model he has is to reduce more money to education. And Dick has said it very well. You are not paying teachers. How can you make people have education? You are not paying capitation. I explained to you here. Capitation in the ratio of 50, 30, 20. We are now in third term. Some teachers, some schools have not received capitation for first term. And they are in third term. They have already borrowed money, stationery. They have borrowed beans, maize, and food items from people in a market. Yeah. You are killing the economy of those people who could have earned the money and took their kids to school. So William Ruto is trying to ensure no one else has money apart from him. So already the president does not believe that, because the president is a double-speak person. Whatever the president says is what he does not mean. So he knows that when you want to kill a nation, you deny them education, and he's doing it. Yet he's trying to pretend to you that actually he's giving them money. Why don't you pay teachers to show, yes, his teachers not paid. The CBC system is not working. If you look at the grades for students are feeling more like last examination. 52.8% of students got grades that cannot take them to university.
University level, yeah.
So what is he doing? He's doing the opposite. So the president is a president who knows that by denying people education, you are killing a nation, and his interest is to kill this nation. And killing a nation does not mean that you are shooting them. And there's a clip I just posted on my Twitter handle by saying, the most lethal weapon is an economical weapon. Do you know that? If your boss wants to hold you somewhere that you don't want to be held, he will touch economically. If you want to touch anybody, touch them economically. Do you know you can threaten your wife and you give her the same allowance, she won't bother, isn't it? But if you tell her, now, I won't give you this money, then that starts becoming a contentious issue. So the president knows what matters. And I want to tell people that William Ruto has manufactured economic weapon to kill Kenyans. One, kill the medical sector so that when you are sick, you die. That's why the funding model, the shift from NHIF is to kill the healthcare sector. You cannot access healthcare, so you'll die. Economically, there's no bullet. You know, the same people used to have a mass massacre. Now, mass massacre is mass murder by killing the healthcare system. Interns cannot be posted. Interns cannot be paid. When interns are not being paid, who will become doctors tomorrow? So you already killed the healthcare sector in succession. Do you know, even my brother now, for any internship you get means you're being prepared to become a CEO. How can you be a CEO if you don't get an internship? How can you become a medical doctor and a surgeon if you never got internship? If you never got employed? So he's killing that. Teachers, JCC teachers, those are interns. They're not being paid. They are killing the sector by not having the future teachers. If the future teachers are on the street running up and down looking for money, how are they being prepared to teach the students of the future? While kids don't have school fees to go to school. Now, can you imagine MCA, governor, MP, senator, both of them have a bursary fund. Yet the constituency is the same. This is scams putting money on the hands of politicians to steal from us. So Ruto's economic model is to get money for himself and everybody around him. And why you need to understand why this is critical is that William Ruto is a president that no one loves in essence. You know, people love Raila for Raila. That's why even if he does any wrong thing, people can still just love him. People love Kibaki for him. There are people who love Uhuru Kenyatta for him. But Ruto is loved only one. Either you are getting a job from him or he's giving you money. So his commercial viability is the only reason. It's like a boyfriend that is loved by a woman only because of commercial purpose. And I call him, is a president that is giving a model of prostitution. Prostitution is whereby when you have a woman today in a brothel, you cannot say, yesterday I bought you whiskey, so today we can have a good time, I have no money. No. You give me, I give you. You give me, I give you. So even this guy, that's why Moses Kuria was given. He was in government. He was praising him. When he went out for 2 weeks, he said Ruto is a bad man. His government is dysfunctional and ineffective, isn't it? He has been reappointed, isn't it? Now William Ruto is a good man. So when you throw Owalo out, Ruto is a bad man. When you bring him in, he's a good man. Aisha Jumwa, same, isn't it? Go to all the CSS. So this is the president we are having. So the issue, I don't agree, but I wanted to comment on a point which Dixon talked about. The issue of spending 50 billion shillings in funding Raila AU campaign. First of all, I want to tell Kenyans that is underestimated. The figure is much more than that. Because I remember the money which was used for campaigning for the lady called Muhammad. Amina Muhammad. If you go to the funding, they were in the tune of 280 something billion shillings, which was used to, and she didn't succeed. So if Aisha Juma, if Amina Muhammad, they spent over 280 billion shillings and she didn't succeed, how much more should be spent on Raila? Secondly, Raila is not the kind of person like Amina Mohammed.
Mm-hmm.
When Raila flies to Addis Ababa for a meeting, compared to when Amina Mohammed flies, whom do you think you need to spend more on?
Raila.
Because Raila is an institution, isn't it?
Yeah.
You saw in State House, the launch, you saw the likes of Ben Agina. You could see all his boys and girls there, isn't it? Can Raila fly just like you flying to Tanzania, where you're then looking for your luggage, you're carrying your bag, you're the one carrying your phone? No, those people don't carry their phone. Have you seen Raila carrying a phone in his hand when he's walking?
No.
He walks without a phone, without a bag, isn't it? So you think he has no phone?
Yes.
You think he has no bag?
Yes.
So he has to have a team. Also, Raila cannot land in Addis Ababa at the same time as the team. There must be advanced team. There must be a team going with him. And there must be a team also on the ground monitoring what is going on.
So the security purpose and all that.
Yeah.
Security, logistics, but for email repetition, Raila, an institution do not just walk like a human being like me, Fred Ogola, walking on the street being chased by policemen and tear gas. An institution is chased by, he has security, he has a PA, he has what? Aisha, Amina Mohammed could just fly maybe one with the PA and maybe one person in security. When she lands, somebody take it. But for Raila, he's an institution.
Yeah.
In fact, his Twitter handle has to be active. His media press statement has to be released.
Yeah.
So it's going to be more costly for sure than 280 billion shillings, isn't it? But should that happen? Now, you have to answer this way. First of all, I don't think we need to blame Raila for that budget. Because this was a plan by William Ruto to remove Raila from politics, and he has succeeded. That's why he said out yesterday, he had to put it categorically, he has left politics.
Yeah.
So that is beneficial to William Ruto. That's why he can pay anything for it. So let us not muddy or muddle Raila's name into this. For him, what he wants to win to AUC. If it means to spend 500 billion shillings, let it be, isn't it? But the person who is going to put this money is the person we should be asking. We didn't elect Raila Odinga. We elected William Ruto.
Yeah.
So is it productive to spend that amount of money to give Raila AUC when JCC teachers have not been paid, when teachers have no salary, pending salary allowances, when we are pending bills in the country, where Kenyans who deal their services to the state have not been paid. Now, let me ask you a question. How do you build an economy? Do you start with the one who already has everything? Because Raila has a job. He's just changing a job from this one to that one. Just like Mbadi changing a job from this one to that one, isn't it? But we have a young person who is 43 years old who has never, ever seen a pay slip, isn't it? That person is being ignored in the name of JCC, doctor's intern, but you are giving someone who has a political party that receives over 700 million shillings a year, isn't it? Someone who has been a prime minister. So I'm sure that this decision is not Raila's. It's about William Ruto to ask himself, is this the best way to spend my money? Is this the best way to spend? Then the other question which is important, Boniface, have we read the budget or not?
I've read it.
So did you see this money in the budget?
No.
50 billion is not pocket change, isn't it? So do you want to tell me, even if you remove 50 billion from the 4.2 trillion, it still remains 4.2 trillion?
No.
So where is the money going to come from? Is it William Ruto's personal money? Is Ruto's personal project, or is it a state project? Has this been passed in parliament? Isn't it? So those questions we can ask. But for me, I wish Raila Odinga very well. In fact, it will be nice if he gets the position, isn't it? But nevertheless, the questions remain. Can the AU job he's getting, after getting it, will employ the JCC teachers, will employ the doctors intern, isn't it? Will grow this economy that young people can get jobs? How many jobs will this seat offer? This is an African seat. You cannot take all Kenyans working in his office, isn't it? We have to know that also we must be modest, isn't it? So those questions remain, and they should answer these questions. For me, going to AUC is a good thing for Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga is an African statesman. Raila is respected across Africa. Whatever it takes to take him there should be done. But at what expense? Let us not blame Raila Odinga even 1 minute. In fact, let me tell even the Luos listening to me, I have guys saying, Raila Odinga is now what. The guy has said he's left politics. So why are you still putting obligations on him? You know, if you are a boyfriend to a woman, then you say from today, I'm no longer your boyfriend, isn't it? Why should you continue paying the bills of that woman in a relationship you are no longer in? Even a woman, if she's your girlfriend and she was paying the bills for your house, because some women nowadays pay bills for men, isn't it? If she tells you, Bana, you are cheating on me, I'm not going to date you anymore. Why should she continue carrying the obligations that are in that home when she's not there? So blaming Raila Odinga for this, for me, is not an issue. Let us put our guns on the president. This is his project. It was done in State House, isn't it? Even the visit by those head of state, that dinner was not, no one ate wind, isn't it? Food was prepared, isn't it? Transport was arranged for. We know how logistics to host a head of state is expensive. If you have 5 of them, isn't it? How much did it cost us as a taxpayer's money? Where is it in the budget? And that's why we're asking as Gen Zs, accountability, transparency, leadership, isn't it? Where is this coming from? Is ODM also footing the bill for these 50 billion shillings, isn't it? Is Raila Odinga going to organize a fundraising among his friends, isn't it? But Raila Odinga actually can afford this money because Raila Odinga is worth more than 50 billion shillings. We know that, isn't it? If this is a personal thing, let him fund it by himself, isn't it? If it's a state thing, let us
know.
Let us go and look at the value of having the seat. Let's put money. Nevertheless, it's going to put Kenya in the political, in the African landscape. Raila Odinga, being the person he is, can use this to market Kenya, but also market Africa. Remember the quote he gave and said, isn't it? He gave a powerful quote here about Africa now being reborn, isn't it?
The lions, eh?
Yes, the lion is waking up, isn't it? So the African lion will wake up, isn't it? But if the African lion wakes up, does Kenya become a tiger?
Or become tiger,
Does Kenya become a cat? Is Kenya a hyena, isn't it? But if Kenya remains with a hyena, we can't benefit from the lion, isn't it? The Kenya now have to be a lioness, isn't it? But William Ruto being the president, Kenya cannot be a lioness. Kenya will become a hyena that is trying to eat itself. You know, a hyena can even eat its children. So that's what William Ruto is doing. So all these things are things I'm trying to question. We should not have Africa becoming a hyena and then the lion is reawakened, isn't it? So how can we capitalize on the African lion by being an African what? Lioness, isn't it? If not lioness, a cub. Can we even be a cub? No, we can't. So as far as I'm concerned, my brother Dixon, I'm happy for your insights by saying that economy is built from the bottom. That's why we are going to unleash a new economic model. We are really writing and working on it. And I just want to call its name. It's called Commercial Community Enterprises. CCE. Remember, we have a movement called CCM. Concerned Citizens Movement. Birthing what is called CCE. Commercial Community Enterprises that will ensure, if you say, when you finish high school, you have to do 2 years of working in community enterprises, then you go to university. But if you want to go straight to the university, you have to find a way in between to do a 2-year internship, but some of them are jobs, but mostly in production. For example, if you take avocado to the Middle East, if you set up some of the biggest avocado farms, there'll be marketing whereby students who are doing marketing can go and do digital marketing, isn't it? Some can do logistics. Some can do branding. But some can actually do the actual farming, supply chain management, isn't it? These commercial community enterprises will use what I would call, in Swahili now I can say, hekima mashinani, the wisdom of the people on the ground. Because why should you implement the wisdom of someone from America coming through IMF and World Bank? Hekima mashinani, wisdom of the people on the ground. For example, if you go to Taita Taveta, they do mining. They also do a lot of trading. How can you use the wisdom of the people on the ground? You go to Mount Kenya, they have the Mau Mau Road, which was supposed to producing food and supply the food to the whole country. How can that wisdom of the Mau Mau people from Murang'a, from Kirinyaga, if you look at that road, even connects it to Machakos, to Nakuru, Naivasha, to Kisumu, this side even to Kitui, even to Nairobi. So if they had a strategy that was going to be a communal enterprise, commercial communal enterprise, as a president, you bring economic model and a policy to support their wisdom, because you're not supposed to tell people from Mount Kenya what they want.
Yeah.
I'm hearing people saying, oh, Mount Kenya needs Gachagua. Who told you? Mount Kenya people want how to make money, to take their kids to school, to have health care.
How to survive.
How to survive. They don't want Gachagua. Gachagua is not food, isn't it? You can say, oh, Luo people want Fred Ogola. They don't want Fred Ogola. They want leadership that can be able to bring the economic vibrancy of the region. Western people need Mutavadi or Wetangula or I don't know. No. They want an economic policy that will wake up the Bungoma, Kakamega, isn't it? Kitale, vibrancy. When I was a young boy, all maize used to come from Kitale. Used to be brought to Ugenya. Now maize come from Uganda, isn't it? Why is Kitale dead as a farming industry? Because people have come to take land from those people, Arab Mashambas, isn't it? Now they lease this land to the people to do farming. So the cost of production has gone up. It's no longer profitable. Nobody wants to be interested. So I'm trying to say, what we are trying to do is let us make the economy vibrant so that if teachers are employed, how many JC teachers want employment? Around 46,000, isn't it? If you employ 46,000 teachers who are earning money educating their family, compared to taking one person to AU, what do you want to do? Add doctors, interns, add that to teachers. You add those numbers together. If all these people are employed, or you give someone a job, what is making sense? So the president should answer those questions. I'm not saying also should be either or. With no corruption, Raila can get a cool 50 billion shillings to go to AU as teachers are being paid. Because the numbers are showing that, and I want to finish quickly, then I can allow Dixon to talk. Numbers are showing we are losing 4 billion shillings to corruption every day.
Every day.
Musalia Mudavadi the other day said we lose 680 billion shillings in a year, which is close to that figure anyway. For a prime secretary to accept that, it means I'm not just speaking my own words.
It is true.
It is true. So 680 billion shillings, remove Raila's 50, isn't it? So you're on with 620. 630, isn't it?
Yeah,
so 630 teachers wants, a JC teacher wants 13.6 billion. So you can get it. Then interns want around 26, isn't it? Billions, you can get it. We still have more money remaining, isn't it? So what I'm trying to say is that William Ruto should tell us from today, I stop corruption to fund Raila's campaign to AU, to employ JC's teachers, because everybody wants something. Because as Raila is going to AU, other people's life cannot be told to wait. Yeah. You can't tell your kids, you wait, I'm having lunch for you. Don't worry about breakfast. I'm going to have lunch. At dinner time, you tell them, now that you guys didn't have breakfast and didn't have lunch, there's only enough money for dinner. Let me just take dinner. You guys wait. They have not taken breakfast. They have not taken lunch.
And then you want to deny them dinner.
Yeah, so for you are having dinner because dinner is only enough for you. Why are we not thinking about everyone's life to go on? That's what I told you. No Kenyans cares about who is the leader. Even if you were to bring Indians to stay from State House to the MCA, and everybody's life is sorted, it won't be a big deal. But here you have your own person in government, the person you know, you went to school with them, they are friends, and you're poor and they're so rich. Your only work is talk about them. Baba, Nyatiing. You only talk about, you only call their names, isn't it? You only know them by name, but you don't see anything you are getting. So as young people, we don't want conversation of patronaging individuals. We want to have an economic model that is transforming lives, not where we are patronaging somebody. Yet if you go to Siaya, nothing. You go to Homa Bay, nothing. You go to Migori, Kisumu, nothing. But we have leaders whom we even have songs for. Even Luo singers are singing them. But they can't tell you how they are eating after that song. They have to come to us again as people, sing to us and we pay them. Like you talk about Inda. Those people, we made them. Who pays their bills? They come and dance in ceremonies. We pay. If they are singing Raila Odinga, let them sing and Raila pays the bill. The bill is still paid by the people. So this time, the power of the people needs to be seen in the economic running of our country.
Dixon?
Wow. Yeah, professors put it very clearly. And I think maybe if I'm just trying to... one thing that we need to know as Kenyans, that we don't have the political instability. I think this I've said it severally, that the political stability, political freedom of this country, we got it in the 2010 year. What we have is economic instability, economic crisis, which is a big disease. And by the way, even to get that economic freedom, we need a revolution. A time has come that Kenyans, we need not to cry for the good governance. Let us start by being good citizens. As a citizen of the country, who need a good governance and who need the stable economy. Because trust me, as per our GDP, professor is a professor of economics. Maybe he'll emphasize on that. But what I know, that the GDP of this country per capita is enough, more than enough, yeah, to finance each and every civil service. It's more than enough to give each and every person a decent house. It's enough to give each and every person, each and every household in the diaspora, electricity. Yeah, we have more than enough. What we are having is mismanagement. The people who we are having, each and every time they are trying to tempt us into the flood of economic death. Yeah, they're trying to, they're directed into that flood, leading us to the sea of economic death. And that we know as Kenyans, we can't ignore this. Each and every person, they know that this regime, even based on what we knew about them, a character. The other time I was talking about the trust deficit, where I was talking about the 8 C's. The character, we knew that the people who are bringing up the world were incompetent. We knew that. And even as per now, I think as per the things are going, they have just affirmed to us, they have just confirmed to us that indeed what you knew and what you thought was more than right. And they're telling you that, you see, now we are eating, yeah? We are traveling with your money. We are hiring. We
are doing anything that we want to do,
and there's nothing that you can do about it. Yeah. So our people must get their mind colonized. They must know that for us to get economic stability, for us to get that economic freedom, that the stability in terms of ground, the employment, at all those, because we have the resources. Yeah. Then we must be the good citizen. That one should be in place. And another thing is this. These people, they're driving us to what we call the cliff summit, the mountainous cliff summit surrounded by the sea. Yeah? And this sea, they're very angry and ferocious sea crocodiles, salt crocodiles. Yeah? Who are very dangerous. These people are driving us into poverty. Yeah? And my message each and every time is this. That in each and every problem, we must get a solution. And we must get people who drive us into the solution. We must also get a platform to make a change. So a big platform is coming. And this is my message maybe to the youths. That we made the revolution to happen, and our old parents who used to have fixed, stereotype.
Mindset.
Those people had anecdotes in terms of tribe. That, when Dixon is from Luo Nyanza, he can't be brought on board, because of 1, 2, 3. When someone is from Kisii land, we can't trust them because they have never led. The revolution decolonized that. And as per now, I'm happy that as a nation, we are raising the basis of how can we get the stability? How can we make Kenya great again? How can we pick it from where Kibaki
left it?
How can we kill corruption? Our people are, the people in governance are, each and every time they compare us with Singapore. When they brought the house levy, they were saying that even Singapore is doing this. When each and everything, when they bring it on board, even Singapore, they broke for us fake fertilizer. They were talking about sustainable agriculture at that time, saying that, we need to make this fertilizer cheap because even Singapore. But one thing that these people of Singapore cornered was corruption. There is no corruption in Singapore. In fact, the consequences of corruption in Singapore are as worse as death. That you get involved in any scandal relating to looting the public resources, then you may not like the consequence. And that's what we need as a country. And that one is in a point. Professor talked about that constitution review. Okay, in my language, the way I'm understanding it, we really need to. because there are many provisions, even in the constitution, that have been abused. At this point, I was asking a friend of mine, whether the constitution of Kenya expired. There are many provisions. As per now, I think around 38 provision in the 2010, the Kenyan constitutions have been abused. Yeah? As per the Article 1, where we said that the power belongs to the people, they are not showing it. Yeah? So I think there are a lot of things that need to be done. We are still far much away. These things of financing, the finance, those are just, they're small fishes. That's not the big thing that we want. What we need to set up, check on the ideologies and the policies of the people who will be coming on board. I've heard of many people, Professor himself here, maybe he'll tell the people. I heard he said that he will be in the ballot 27. I've heard William Ruto, Kalonzo, Jimmy Wanjigi, a lot of people. Let us check the ideologies and the policies of these people. Let us check the character. Whom are we bringing on the board? What's the clarity? Because we don't have even the trust among ourselves. There's a trust deficit. Today I heard that the president was to launch other projects. Yeah. We know that these projects that are being launched...
He's going to Siaya. Yeah, he's supposed to travel to Siaya.
You will hear in 2 weeks, 3 weeks that program, either it will be dead or there are a lot of things. So I'm just trying to say that the trust deficit is between the government and the people, even amongst ourselves, because I bring for you my candidate who is very competent. Yeah, I bring for you a young man who is very much well-driven, who is very much skilled, well-spoken, and then you argue about 200 shillings. That's a trust deficit. And that's why we must check amongst ourselves. I think that's my closing.
Just on you still, before I ask Professor the last question, I want to ask this. Yesterday, I think you watched the session, the AU issue at the State House. During Museveni's speech, there is a statement that he made that I would really like you to talk about. He said something to do with the tribalism, and I remember you saying that that your language, that your aterere will not put food for you on the table.
Yeah.
And then he went ahead and said that the only thing that can help you as a country or can help you to grow economically is working together and making sure that what you're doing is what is going to benefit everybody. Don't measure into one area. What do you say about that?
That is the absolute truth. Let us check at the history of Tanzania. These people who have been underrating. If you check that the history of governance, starting from the time of Mwalimu, Julius Nyerere, the likes of Mwinyi, the likes all the way to the top. These people have not... That is just here in East Africa. Yeah, I don't want to go far. They have not been reasoned in the basis of the tribe. And in fact, you can ask Tanzania, will the next president will come from which tribe? They may not tell it. Because they check as the ideologies and the policies that these people are bringing on the board. Trust me, Kenyans, our GDP, we are claiming and bragging, by the way, that we have one of the best GDP in Eastern and Central Africa. We have resources and all those. But look at the way our people are hungry on the ground. Because we have been reasoning on the basis of tribe. Day in, day out. I present for you my candidate who is a Kikuyu or a Luo. What you bring on board? Hey, I'm a Kalenjin. I can't support him. I bring for you, we are reasoning on the basis of the tribe. And this is the card. This is the card that people are playing. Because now they are bringing the issues of tribalism. And they are coming with a lot of investment. You get a person who want to vie, let's say a governor. These people are ready to spend as high as 700 million. Monetizing their campaigns. Why? Because they know they know the corner that they are going to corner you, and they know that they are investing in it. They must participate in looting. So what to blame? Should we blame them or blame the people bringing them the power?
No, blame the people.
That's why I'm talking of good citizens. We cannot get good governance by not being a good citizen. First of all, we must be wise, because majority. Truth be said, majority of people are still stupid. I don't want to call them ignorant because they are not. They have been educated. A lot. Each and every time in the media we see, and as young men, we tell our people, change can only be brought when you decide to reason well. So some of our people have deliberately accepted to be fools, and they are the people who are dragging us behind. Yeah, because these people are now, they are not even politicians. They are businessmen in politics. Because if I say spend 800 million in my campaign as an MP, trust me, I must get that money back. And that's where CDF funds, if it comes, I'll only give maybe 0.2% of it. The rest of it I'll pocket.
Yeah,
So I think the issue of tribe is a big disease in this country.